is our farm. My husband and I recently purchased a farm outside the Kansas City area, and we are working on building a regenerative farm. There's a lot of things going on, and I hope to have more videos for you kind of explaining those. But today we're specifically looking at our pond, which is behind me. You may notice it looks more like a grass pad than a pond. That is because we have an abundance of duck algae. As I mentioned in a prior video, had cleaned this out quite a bit. I spent at least 8 hours in this pond skimming off this duck algae. Left it for 2 days because we got busy with other things. Came back the following 48 hours later, whole pond covered. So I was fighting a losing battle because I later learned that duck algae can reproduce like crazy and grow, like double in size in like 16 hours. So I also, when I was skimming off the duck algae, I started a treatment hoping to kind of attack several different angles of this pond, because we have an idea of what we want to do down here for the long term, but in the short term, we just want this pond to be healthy, and we want it to have like a thriving ecosystem for absolutely any native wildlife, along with the bugs, which is part of native wildlife, I guess. So we just want a healthy ecosystem down here. So I got this product. I've been treating our pond for about a month. It is called Muck Away. What it is a beneficial bacteria that actually eats pond muck. Along this pond, throughout the whole pond actually, we have probably in some spots at least 11 to 13 inches of pond muck, which isn't good. So I'm very much a novice when it comes to maintaining the health of a pond and doing what I'm doing. So I won't get too much into the details just because I'm learning them myself. But duck algae and muck actually kind of work together and they benefit each other. So the fact that there's an overabundance of both, I'm trying to reduce that. One with the Muck Away, knowing that this year I'm not going to get rid of all this duck algae. That's a losing battle, and I'm okay with that. We need so much for this pond, like aeration. It's currently at like a hypoxia state where there's just a lack of oxygen in it. So I know that this is going to be a couple years at least till we get this in a very healthy state. And we're not throwing a whole bunch of our resources and time at it. We're just doing what we can in the meantime until it becomes the main focus. So this year we're doing the Muck Away. I'm also today going to be skimming off some of the duck algae, knowing very much so that it's going to come back, and it is what it is. But I will be taking that duck algae and putting it in our compost bin because I'm building that up for next spring. And duck algae actually is like an amazing nitrogen additive for a compost pile, which is perfect. That's what you want. So we're going to be doing those two things today. I'm wanting to kind of show how I've been dosing our pond with this Muck Away. There's instructions on the product. I'm not endorsing it. There's definitely different products out there. This is just what I read and found what I thought was going to be best for our farm. It is natural. It's not a chemical that's going to be damaging to the environment or any of the aquatic life that is in here. We don't have any fish, but we do have a plethora of frogs, dragonflies, which I'm obsessed with, tadpoles, and I actually think we might have a couple crawdads. When I was cleaning this out a month or so ago, I definitely came across, I think, one, but it was really, really tiny, so maybe it was something else. And then that's this year's plan, though, is addressing it with the Muck Away, knowing that I'll probably have to buy more of the product and address it next year. The Muck Away should be able to tackle up to like 2 inches of muck a month. So how I calculated it is I'm going to have to do this next year as well. This is just to get a jump start. This winter, we're going to cut back a lot of these tree saplings because they're not really doing much for the pond. Over there, which I'm going to try to get you a better shot, there's at least 12 feet of grasses and a kind of like those aquatic marshland grasses. So when the rain comes in on this side, that grass kind of filters out some of the nutrients. That way there's not as much of an overabundance of nutrients to the pond. So we kind of want to extend that grass all the way around. And I'm also going to add more diversity because there's really only 2 varieties, and I would like to have it, I don't know, at least 6, I guess. If you know more about ponds and you think I'm crazy, let me know. Always happy to hear that. So we're going to cut this out during the winter. Next spring and summer, plant a whole variety of grasses. And then in the pond themselves, we're going to plant water lilies and a few other aquatic plants. I planted 3 water lilies 4th of July weekend. I haven't noticed them come up. I think it's late in the season, as well as I don't know if they were in the best of conditions to be planted, like if they were even like a viable root to be planted. I got them on sale. It was worth I think it came to like 20 bucks. It was worth the risk to try it. So if they come up, great, but I don't think they have. I'll check, and if they do, you'll get a video of it. So I'm going to show you the tablets here. Okay, so here are the Muck Away tablets. I'm going to get a scoop of those. So I had been doing probably from about there all the way back 20 feet or so of the shoreline for the past month. I'm going to work my way around the pond in sections about month by month, or every 2 weeks that I've been putting these tablets in. All I've been doing is just spreading them out, kind of not too far out, because I want to try to keep it concentrated every treatment. My understanding is that's kind of the best way of attacking it. And so yeah, just going to throw these along in hopes I'm pretty sure I could just toss it. I like to take a little more care. I don't know why. Okay, so got the shoreline treated with the Muck Away. As I mentioned, I'm going to go in and get some of this duck algae out so we can add it to our compost for that boost of nitrogen. I also think I'm going to do a shot in the water to show you how clear our pond is. I kind of wish I would have had this in the beginning, because our pond is definitely clear, or more clear than when I first started doing this to our pond, or treating our pond. Obviously the algae messes with it because it's just green, but as I was throwing the tablets in, I could see parts of the bottom, which was the muck, but I could see it. When I first started doing skimming the pond, you couldn't see through. Like before I even stepped in the pond and disrupted the muck, I would skim it and it was just brown murkiness. So it's kind of nice to see that hopefully the Muck Away is working and that's eating that muck. And yeah, hopefully we'll get a clear pond soon. All right, so that was our evening in the pond. Got the Muck Away in the pond. Got pretty much a bucket full of duck algae for the compost pile. I now am going to attempt to get you a shot under the water with our camera here to try to show the clarity of the pond. Obviously, I just got done skimming it, so some of that muck is already worked up. So if anything, you'll have probably a better view of what it looked like a month ago. I did notice walking into the pond where I've been treating it, there was considerably less muck, and I had way better footing because I didn't sink into like 6 inches of muck. So yeah, I really appreciate you watching our video. I hope you can keep tuning in for our ponds journey as well as our farms journey. So thanks for watching. Bye.